everyone to round 6 of the Australian GTE Challenge presented by Moonraker Design and Print. Thanks you all for showing up tonight. Should be a good one. Few new faces, few old faces, so keep it clean out there and have fun, boys. Cheers. All right. I don't know why that's doing that again. Every session it goes away and comes back. Okay. I'm not going to grid because it's quite stressful getting in there and getting out. So we'll let them sit on the line for a minute. That's fine. It's only a minute. They can get their stuff sorted. So this is going to be interesting. Sure what we'll look from TV1, I think. Yeah, I should have joined and then got out. That's all right. It's just stressful because I've got to get in, get out, and then quickly jump to the front, jump to live. It's not exactly easy. So. All right, here we go, boys. And the engines rise. And they are off. Craig gets a good start. So does Rob Bowden. Ripper of a start. Justin as well. They all managed to keep it quite clean back in the pack. Nathan fighting with Peter Bianchucci, who has had an absolute blinder of a start here. They drag race down into the... And Nathan cuts across in front, so... Not bad there. And looks like Mitch has gone off. And I'm not quite sure what happened there. Looks like he, unfortunately, has just done it to himself there, which is a bit of a shame. But Rob now out in front, followed by Craig Edwards manages to get past him as he has a bit of a moment coming out of turn 6 there. Porsche is very strong tonight, so I expect to see a few of the Porsche boys really ploughing through the field. Close battle for the top here with returning star Justin McLean in the Porsche 991 MW Motorsport. As we round out the first lap, we've got Craig Edwards, Rob Bowden, Justin McLean, Nathan Huppert, and Peter Bianchucci are your top 5. Peter having an absolute ripper of a race. This must be a favorite of this track, so great to see him battling for top 5. Craig with a ripper of an outlap. First lap 46.299, and Justin on the inside of Nathan just can't quite make it work. All over the back of him. Nathan did say that the Porsche has a little bit better drive off the corners, which will favor them. Chris makes a move on Jeremy there. He does seem to be dropping back, maybe possible slowdown. And both Ray Oliver and Chris Barnes take advantage of that. Neil Woodburn goes through as well. Chris Barnes on the inside here. Has a look, feels the mirrors. Using all of the track there to try and get a little bit extra speed out of that corner. Close racing by everyone here. Watkins Glen putting on an absolute show tonight. So we should have a bit of a race on our hands tonight. 488 is definitely quicker out of the corners. I absolutely can't deny that. Although in saying that, it does look like some of the Porsches are quite fast on this medium downforce set tonight. Looks like Mitch Brown has come in to the pits after his little spin there. And Nathan makes a move on Rob into the inner loop, which I'm sure has a better name than inner loop, but and makes it stick. So he's going to drive away now. Nice little gap of 0.8 of a second. Bus stop, that is the term I was thinking of. Thank you very much. Oh, it looks like Chris has had an unfortunate accident there. Not quite sure what happened, just a little bit hot into there and does nudge the wall. That's a real shame. He was doing so well. But that puts him back in the 12th spot. Crash does not necessarily mean you're out of this race, especially in Ag Tech we have a single fast repair, and you can pit almost any time during the race. So yeah, it's great. It's definitely unfortunate, but he's definitely not out of the race. Still a long time to go now. We've still got 40 minutes to go. Craig with a nice 5/10 up on Nathan Huppert's, but the draft is strong, and you'll see here Nathan with a fraction more speed, but not quite long enough on that straight to let anything happen there. Jack Swampole having a battle there, and looks like Justin unfortunately has hit the wall there, and he's gonna have to limp that back to. That is a big accident. Let's see what happened there. Yeah, he's just come in a little bit too hot there, and yeah, he's very lucky that he didn't end up on his roof. So he's gonna limp that back. That is a very broken Porsche. But if he can get in, get a fast repair done, he will. He is struggling. He is struggling. Looks like the packs sorted themselves out a little bit here, so not too many close battles at the moment. And it looks like Jeremy also in early for a pit stop. So see how that plays out for him. Justin's also in for his pit stop now. Scott Stevens trying to close up on Jack Swampole here. Mitch Brown jumps Justin in the pits. putting him up into 12th position. Now Rob slipped back a bit here. Now I'm not 100% sure what his plan is, but those Fusion boys are railroading away, absolutely steaming away with it at the moment. So he's going to have to do something to try and save some time somewhere, whether or not that's a fuel saving situation or something of the like. But this should be a good battle here with Scott and Jack Swampole. If Scott can capitalize on this first corner, get a good run out of there, we'll really see the difference in speed with draft as well. And he's on his tail. Is he going to make a move? He doesn't. Stays in line. Just holds on to it. We go back to the leaders now. Take a run onto the straight. I think these two boys are... Craig's going to try and lead as long as he can, but Nathan is in a slightly better situation behind him. So roles were reversed last week with Nathan out in front for almost the entire race until about the last lap where Craig made it work. So not bad effort from him as we go back to Scott and Jack Swampole. Jack covers the inside and then he's not quite close enough to make a move work there. Interested to see the tactic that Scott uses here. Is he going to hang out behind Jack for the next few laps, or is he going to try and pull out and get in front of him? Peter Bianchucci's doing a fantastic job there up in 4th position, followed by Ray Oliver. Like what was said before, the Porsche is strong here. But that's not to say that the Ferrari isn't capable, as we can all see that P2, currently the Ferrari has had the fastest lap, so 39.69. Mind you, that would have been in draft, but still it goes to show that although the Porsche is strong, it's not that strong. It looks like Scott goes on the inside of Jock there. Does that... And Jack's just had a little bit of a lock up there. Just touched the grass, and that's unfortunately sent him a little bit wide. Scott takes advantage of it and goes through. Nathan's slipping back just a little bit here. So looking at about 8/10. Looks like the field has sort of sorted itself out a little bit. Bottom three, Jeremy, Mitch, and Justin have all pitted. They've hit very early in the game, but that's not to say that they're out of it. If they can still pull off some decent laps, then there is no issue with them actually still being in the running. Pit lane transit looks like around about 40 to 41 seconds average time. And at that point, if Mitch can make up some time, there is a chance that he can make it back. But unfortunately, he's in a bit of a rough situation here because he's after the guys pit up the front, he's still unfortunately about 20 seconds off. So he'll be looking for a safety car. That'd be a really good thing right about now for him. But yeah, we'll see what happens. All cars that were in incidents at the start of the race all decided to drive back to the pits, which meant that there was no safety car, which is the safety car rules. If there is a car that has requested to tow and they're in the way or in a dangerous spot, then you'll get a safety car. But unfortunately, there was no safety car.
Hey Kurt, you got that ballast button for the Porsche ready?
Yeah, mate, I got it ready. No worries. So let's have a quick look at the top speeds here of some of the cars just to see what sort of differences we're looking at. So car number 10, who is Stephen Diwali in the Porsche here. Let's see what top speed he gets up to. 260. Looks like he maxed out at about 260. Jeremy Greentree in the Ferrari. Let's see what he maxes out here. No draft, so on their own here, let's see what he can get up to. 259, 260, 261, and then backs out of it. So let's see. Looks like Mitch got up to about 260 as well. And here's Justin McLean coming through the same here. Gets up to 261 and then backs out of it. So very evenly matched. Very evenly matched. We have no Fords to test that on tonight. See the difference, but yeah. Like Ray's slowly eating away at the time behind Peter Biancucci here. So battle of the V8 Drive Day Porsches. Ray Oliver, the Down Under Sim Sports. I believe that's a special livery that he's running. A memorial livery. And he takes a lot of time out of Peter there going through the bus stop. I think Ray will be looking to possibly make a move here. All over the back of Peter. Peter doesn't seem too phased. He's driving along as he would. Doesn't seem too defensive. Just putting in the lap times as best he can. It'll be interesting to see how they go as they get closer to the big run up the straight. Is he going to cover the inside here? He doesn't. But he's hot on his tail here, so I think there will be a move going into the bus stop. Unless Ray is going to hang on to that, but it looks like he might. Peter goes to the inside to cover. And they're side by side here. Who's going to back out? And Peter does back out. Just. And really close there as they come through turn 5. Peter not giving up without a fight. Goes to the inside, but can't quite make it work. And it looks like Ray's prevailed there, so Stephen Diwali comes into the pits, so the back markers will go through on him, I believe. Just looking at Justin to see if he does make it through as well. And he does. Now Ray slightly in front now, so Peter's going to be pushing a little bit to try and get that position back. I know for a fact that he won't be happy about that one. And we've got Scott Stevens now creeping up on Neil Woodburn, the other Porsche of MW Motorsport. So is it possible that he will be able to... And he goes about 5/10 faster than Neil on that last lap, so he's really putting in some time now. Fourth and fifth still battling here. Ray Oliver, Peter Banchucci, but unfortunately Peter goes off and he just saves it from the wall there. He's very lucky that he's just saved that. And just makes it back onto the track, which is a bit of a shame. He was having a really good run there, and just overcooked it going into the bus stop. Scott Stevens right on the tail now of Neil Woodburn. Fill in the mirrors there. You can see definitely pushed out a little bit wide just to show him he was there and how close he was. And it looks like he's gone through on him. Scott now really going to try and pull away from Neil. But Neil will have that draft. We go back to the lead. Craig Edwards now has a comfortable 2-second lead. And back to Nathan. And then 10 seconds back to Rob Bowden, who is sitting a little bit comfortable in P3 here, with Rob Oliver setting roughly the same times as Rob. So see what happens here in terms of whether or not Ray can chip away at some time towards the latter half of this race. We're just under halfway now. Next one, Paul's got Peter Bianchucci not that far behind him, and we know that the Porsche is quite strong here, and this does seem to be a favorite track of Peter. I think that Ferrari's actually missing the rear window. Looks like he may have had an issue early on. And Peter was 0.3 faster than Jack on that last lap, so he's definitely taken some time out of that gap. Ray Oliver marginally quicker on that last lap compared to Rob Bowden, but he's going to have to put in some work if he wants to get closer. Still about a 2.2 second gap. But Scott Stevens, man of the match at the moment, up 7 positions off the start into P5. So absolute ripper of a drive for him. And Ray Oliver, notable mention, also up 4 spots from the start. So fantastic stuff. Neil Woodburn slightly slipping away from Scott Stevens. As Jack Swampole slowly catches him as well. See the lap distance, the lap time difference between Neil, and looks like Neil's into the pits, and same as Peter. So interesting tactic here. I think he possibly thought that he was under a little bit of pressure, so they've ducked into the pits. I think that's a good move. I think that's a good move. Depending on where they come out, I think that's a good move. So, like Peter might have missed his box there. We'll see with the lap, the box time. And it looks like he has just missed his box on that one. So slightly slower stop for Peter. And that brings him down a little bit. Looks like he's possibility of him serving a time penalty at the moment. Actually, he's in the box an awfully long time. And Justin goes through. What a shame. What a shame. He was doing such a good job there. We go back to Ray Oliver. Oh, and it looks like Nathan Huppets overtakes Craig Edwards. Craig comes into the pits. So this will be interesting. See if Nathan can put in a good lap here. We all know that the Ferrari is slightly better on fuel consumption. So the Ferraris tend to stay out a couple laps longer than most of the other cars. Let's see what sort of time that Craig does in the pits. And not an overly fast stop, but definitely notable. Looks like these two. That's it. That looks like a bit of a crazy entry from Scott Stevens there. Let's see if we can see what happened there. Oh, we've gone back a full lap. Never mind. How was his entry in there? Let's just have a quick look at that. I actually think he's meant to do that. So interesting tactic there, angling the car out a little bit. And we're now on board with Nathan, who I believe will have to pit probably this lap, as far as I'm aware, which will put him back into second position, I believe. Yep, so he comes into the pits, is Rob Bowden also going to come into the pits. We will see. Or can he go one lap longer? No, he's into the pits. So Craig looking like he will probably get out in front here, but it's going to be close. Nathan there. 10 seconds as Craig comes out. Can he get out? He gets out, but I don't think he'll be able to make it. Slightly shorter in the pit lane than it is on the outside. And he can't quite make it. He is a little bit closer though. He's definitely gained some time in that pit stop. Looks like Nathan was about a second quicker in the pit stop, so fantastic stuff there from him. Rob has managed to take a little bit of time, but not too much to try and catch Craig in front. Chris Barnes battling with the Ferrari of Jeremy Greentree. Jeremy Greentree, new driver for AgTech tonight. Part of the Mark 1 esports team. Him and Jesse Butler. Jesse Butler, unfortunately, not here tonight. Jack looking to close the gap on Neil here. Like Jack used his fast repair there. Put a new rear window in that Ferrari, which I'm sure helps with the aerodynamics. Chris Barnes still battling his way back up the field. He's up one position off the start though, but he was a little bit further up. Off the start, he had gained a few places, but had a couple of unfortunate moments there. So is Jacques going to have enough speed up the hill and the long straight to make anything work into the bus stop? He's getting closer, but I don't think he'll be close enough. And Neil covers the inside. Small lock up there from Jack. So it looks like Rob has improved a little bit on his time over Ray Oliver. Ray Oliver had a slightly slower stop, about 2.4 seconds. So that has hindered him a little bit in the chase for that podium. So he'll have about 7 laps to go to try and get that back. Jack's closing in now on Neil. We'll be looking to make a move going back up that hill. Jack goes extremely wide there. Turn 10, trying to use all of the road. And he's at about the same position here as he was last time. Is it enough? To catch him up the hill? Seems like Neil does have that last corner onto the front pit straight covered, which then Doesn't help. And Jack goes through on the inside through the bus stop. Huge move there. And makes it stick. Incredible drive from him. That's great stuff. He really licked the stamp and sent it on that one. And Chris Barnes going to look for a way past Jeremy Greentree. Chris also races in a numerous amount of leagues. Also a member of the F3A, Formula 3 Australia League, and has also started doing the Brazilian Stock Car League as well. So keep an eye out for Chris in the Brazilian Stock Cars and also the Formula 3 Australia. Chris is right on the tail of Jeremy here. Can he make something work going into the bus stop? And it looks like Ray Oliver has had a bit of a mishap here. And is he going to tow? No, he's going to drive that car back. What's happened there? Just had a big moment and then unfortunately couldn't quite get it back on the road right. So that's unfortunate for him. He was eating some time out of Rob there, but unfortunately, he will be slowly driving that back. Again, another missed opportunity at a late safety car. He will need to be a little bit careful here. He'll have some of the other drivers picking up. Easy under brakes there. And that is a very broken crab walking Porsche. And what's happened there? Mitch Brown having some technical issues. So he does bounce around a little bit on the scoreboards. Barnes looks like he's lost a little bit of time to Jeremy there. Not quite sure what's happened. Maybe a couple of mistakes there. And I think Jeremy's gone off the track there in the bus stop just as I was talking. And Mitch will go through on Jeremy. So Mitch, after a really early incident, has climbed his way back up to 8th position. Really good drive from him. And Ray Oliver slots into the last position after an unfortunate accident there. And Scott will overtake I actually think that's Craig Edwards will overtake the back marker. So blue flags. Oh, and Craig runs a little bit long there, so he will get a slowdown for that. And Nathan goes through, so that's a very interesting thing there. I'm not sure what happened, but I think that the blue flagger really got in the way there, and I think that Craig just outbroke himself. which is very unfortunate for Craig. That's a bit of an issue, so just keep an eye on that, because that blue flag guy should not be racing him for a position like that. That's a very unfortunate incident. We may have to have a look at that. Post-race, we'll have a look at that just to see what happened there. There's a possibility Craig just had a little bit of pressure from the guy behind, the blue flag guy. And that's unfortunately caused him to have a little bit of an accident there. So Jack is only about 5 to 6 tenths away from Scott Stevens. And he's going to look to try and make a move going up the hill if he can. He did it on Neil Woodburn, similar thing, and looks like he's going to have around about the same amount of a gap. See how this ends up going into the bus stop. And he's not quite close enough to make that happen. Craig will be looking to get that number 1 spot back from Nathan. Porsche's really strong through this corner here. Got a lot of downforce. And he's right in the toe, so they're going to go possibly side by side going into the S's here, into the bus stop, sorry. And Craig is on the inside, but doesn't quite get close enough to make a move there. Nathan using every inch of the road possible. And it's a close battle for the lead here. 2 Fusion Sim boys duking it out in the last few laps of the battle. And there's a lot of pressure on Nathan here to really push that Ferrari to its absolute limits. But Craig will have the draft going up the hill, so it's be very interesting. He might do it going into turn 1. No, ducks back into the toe. And he will try and make it work going up the hill. And there's side by side going through the S's. Nathan covers the inside. And it's close. Craig has to pull out, unfortunately. Doesn't quite make the move work. The outside is very hard to make it work out there. Another close battle here, Mitch Brown and Chris Barnes. So 2 really good drivers that sometimes handed a little bit of bad luck when it comes to AgTech, but yeah, he'll be looking to get in front of Chris here. Critical points for Moonraker Motorsport as well, with Telford out. We go back to the lead now. I believe we'll have one more lap after this. So Craig a little bit further away than he was on the last lap. But that Porsche is really strong through that last corner. And the final lap. Now we're on white flag. Can Craig make it work here? No, he stays, moves to the outside. Try and get a little bit more speed through the bus stop. Try and make it work. Doesn't work like that on the outside of the bus stop, but can he make it work on the outside here? Then he's set up for the inside of this next corner. And Nathan just cuts in front of him. Incredibly close battle for the first position here. And they're side by side as they go through turn 7.
I know, Mitchell.
And it looks like Mitchell's had a bit of an issue there. Not quite sure what happened. Check that out after. And they're side by side going into turn 8 as well. Craig goes wide and is in first position currently. Nathan's not going to let it happen easy, but he has a little bit of a mistake trying to do a little bit of a crossover there. As they round down close to the final corner. And Craig does make it work here. It looks like he will be the winner of this race as he crosses the checkered flag. Fantastic race by the top two boys. And your third position is Rob Bowden, Tanked SRT. Fourth position, Scott Stevens currently. Followed by Jack. Neil Woodburn. Looks like he's had a bit of an issue here. Not sure what happened with Neil there, so Jeremy will go through. Jeremy with a bit of a late position grab for P6. That's great for his debut. Not quite sure what happened to Mitch. He must have had a bit of an issue early on. And Neil crosses the line. And he's definitely run out of fuel. You can hear it. So he's... that is the risk you take with AgTech. You are definitely cutting it very close.
Sorry about that, Chris.
And Justin goes through P8.
Caught me out.
What a fantastic race. So huge stuff from the Fusion Sim boys. Craig Edwards, your winner again. That further cements his lead in the Australian GTE Challenge.